Alright, I'm back. It's still transparent. Hey everyone, how you doing? Alive, I guess. It's funny that I asked at the same time you said that. How is everyone doing this fine? Fair? Yeah, I'm doing well. How's everyone else doing? So, just want to briefly mention this again, because I said at the very beginning of the stream. Metal Gear Solid 2 is done. I was considering going back in and streaming the Snake Tales, but I read up on how to do them and like what they entail to get everything in them, and it's a lot of work. First off, they're non-canon, obviously, but also you have to. There's no voice acting. It's just a ton of reading, like during cutscenes. So I'm just like, I don't really want to do that. Also, you have to finish each mission at least twice to get the true ending for each one, or the best ending, and each of them end with a boss fight, which isn't that bad on its own, but like the final one, Snake has to fight the Metal Gear Ray barrage as well as Solidus. So I'm like, yeah, maybe that's not something worth streaming. Just stick to the canon material like I've done so far with the series in terms of streaming it. If I really want to do that stuff, I'll just play it on my own at some point, but not now. I've got way too much coming up now. Between this, Fuga 3, Deltarune next week, tomorrow, next week, Deltarune. Mario Kart's coming out in less than a week. The Switch 2's coming out in less than a week. Next week is going to be a hell-nado of shit for me to do on stream. So I am going to be making the most of my time each night. That said, tomorrow, Saturday, probably not streaming. I might on Saturday, actually. I don't know. I might finish Super Quest. I want to finish Super Quest before Deltarune comes out. Apparently, it's only about 6 hours long, and I'm 2 hours and 45 minutes in. So, one more stream of that should finish it. If you weren't here last Saturday when I streamed it was a really fun game. It was by the person that runs was it Video Games Out of Context on Blue Sky. I think it was Indie Games, and then they changed it to just Video Games. Hyper Shrimp. And that's kind of it. This week at work has been different. Shrimp, yeah, with 2 P's. This week at work I thought this week was going to be like hell and awful based on what we had going on. It wasn't too bad. The worst part of it was that I had to stay overtime yesterday and today. Thankfully, the overtime today wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, though yesterday was definitely worse. But all I have to do is get through today, and then I get the weekend off, which is nice. Not much else really. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot new happening right now. Things are just kind of going day by day. We're playing it by ear up to Anthrocon, up by pointy ear until Anthrocon happens. Anthrocon's schedule has not been released yet, but according to the interview that CyberConnect 2 put out today, or not that they didn't put it out, another news outlet put out the interview that they did with them, but according to an interview that they did that came out today alongside Fuga 3's release, they seem like they very much enjoy the Anthrocon panels, and they said they want to try to do it every year, so I would not be surprised if the Anthrocon schedule this year has another Fuga panel on it. The problem is that the Fuga panel last year was on registration day, and, I got to registration at 1 p.m., and the panel was at 4:30, and I still didn't get off the line quick enough. That sucked. So I'm hoping Anthrocon's new way of handling the line makes things easier this year to get through. But I'm also, unlike previous years, except for the first time I went, I'm taking the Wednesday before the convention off as well. And what we're going to do is Nessie and I are going to go up to our friend's place. We're going to probably get K-Pot again for lunch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try to sleep from 5 or 6 p.m. until we leave at 11 or midnight. And that way I can be up for the entire trip, and I can last the full day at Anthrocon as well, and just get a really good night's sleep afterwards. I actually don't know what hotel we're staying in this year. It's one that we haven't been in before, but it's not super far from the convention center. It's the same block. It's just behind the main hotel, I think. When you coming here? I'm not going to say never. Don't worry. It'll happen at some point. I just, you know, like I said, I'm stepping back from any cons. Essentially, any cons that require flying outside of my current time zone, I'm not going to. Oh wait, no. That doesn't work because MFF is in Central Time, so never mind. Right now, I'm dialing it back to just Anthrocon and just MFF. And then the rest of my time I'm going to use for other stuff, but we'll see. Again, that might only be for a year or two. I might slowly start working other trips back in as time and money comes in. We'll see. The problem is that the shallow problem of it all is that I'm like running out of PTO. Like it's getting kind of tight to the point where I'm like not able to, like, I have to be careful with how many days I'm asking for off, and that's not great. It's not really that big of a deal money-wise. Generally, each time I go on a convention trip, that's a paycheck that I'm spending. And that's not terrible, but it's also, like, that's a lot of money to be doing that, like, 5 to 7 times a year. Especially when, you know, I get paid bi-weekly. Here's the thing. I've only been to the West Coast twice, for San Diego Comic-Con in 2008 and 2009. And, they, you know, that's a completely different beast. That's California. And one year was way better than the other year, I'll say that. I'm not saying no to going back to the West Coast for stuff. I mean, I went to Denver last year, and that's, you know, almost West Coast. But we'll see. Everyone's been gassing up Vegas, so at some point I'd like to go there and see what's going on there. Cali is southwest coast. Yeah, I know. Well, New Jersey is northeast. We're New England. It's New England. There is a distinct difference between southwest, southeast, northwest, and northeast. Like, those 4 quadrants of the country have completely different things. Also, I found out today that apparently all the airlines are now charging extra for single passengers. Like, if you look up a single passenger flight, it gives you worse prices than if you look up, like, 2 tickets together. That's kind of bullshit, and that's part of the reason I don't want to take too many flights going forward, because I'm going to be overpaying. But, you know, again, it's based on... My decisions are based on a couple factors, and I have to see how I'm feeling about it. I think at least for this year and next year, it's just going to be Anthrocon, MFF, and then any local conventions or trips that my friends want to go on, I will go on. And then I might do a vacation or 2 that doesn't involve a convention. I think that's the biggest thing. I need to be doing stuff that isn't just going to conventions. Because what's happening is, I'm going to all these, like, cities and places, and I'm just staying in a hotel the whole weekend. Like, yeah, it's with other people, and I'm doing stuff, but, like, I'm not seeing any of these places that I go to. I think the most I've seen of any city that I go to for a convention is Pittsburgh for Anthrocon, and even that, there's not a whole lot around the actual convention center. It's a couple restaurants and then streets and streets of nothing. So, I don't know. I'll have to. We'll have to see how things unfold. I wouldn't be opposed to going. I know you want. Would you suggest KomoriCon in October? I wouldn't be opposed to that. I haven't gone to an anime con in a very long time, and I kind of do miss it. I was thinking the other day, because, like, I saw someone or I saw photos of people at a convention. It was a group of people dressed up as Char as Nabel from Gundam, and I'm like, you never see that at furry cons. You never see a whole group of people dressed as the same character at a convention, except for those that group of furries that have the Arcanine fursuits. Which, I mean, you know, I appreciate the commitment to the bit. I cannot imagine wanting to be one of, like, 6 identical fursuits that have, like, no discerning features to them. But still, it's a pretty good bit. Like it. Anyway, I'm just going to be opening my my new my extra dimensional crisis trading card pack here. Let's see what we get tonight. Rockruff. Guzzlord EX. Oh, hell yeah. Nice. I didn't have that one. Herdier. Clefairy. Pheromosa. Oh, hell yeah. I got 2 Ultra Beasts in the same pack. Hell yeah. I fucking love trading cards. Especially when I don't have to pay for them. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see who cancels who. I don't know. Like, it's gonna be a while before anything happens. This year is a definite no for everything. Just because it's kind of like I kind of need the recharge time. There's a chance I may go to Furrydelphia because I believe Nessie and our friend want to go. So if they can, I might go with them. But that's still like that's local-ish. That's like a 2-hour drive away. An hour to get to Nessie and then another hour to get to Furrydelphia. But yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know a whole lot else to say. I'm just kind of stalling while I'm going through a bunch of my Pokemon shit here. Anyway, let's get back to the game in just a second.